For those familiar with card-based RPG games, Dungeon Brah might sound like your everyday Munchkin on paper, but there's actually a lot more going on here and it's quite incredible. Designed by Buttfighter's Luis Duposani, the game is all about building up two heroes with cool looking gear while fighting monsters, all while avoiding the impending doom simply known as Kevin. The game revolves around Kevin, but this monstrous beast that resembles a strange cat-like octopus doesn't actually appear in the game as much. In fact, everything you do in Dungeon Brah is to mentally prepare yourself and physically prepare your heroes to fight Kevin. You see, Kevin is the ultimate douchebag in Dungeon Brah, with a ridiculous amount of health. So much so that prepping to fight him actually doesn't work out as well as you think it would. So much of the gameplay in Dungeon Brah relies on finding other unique ways to get rid of Kevin, and often even toss him to another person to deal with. But I'm actually downplaying how serious this Kevin situation is. You see, Kevin only appears in the game by chance. He will definitely arrive at some point or another, but he only spawns in after you have drawn some cursed idol cards. These are shuffled into the deck. Until such a time, Kevin sits on the side of the deck as you play out the game as one would expect. You win a game of Dungeon Brah by either being the last man standing after Kevin kills all your friends, or simply drawing 4 the loot cards. These cards are shuffled into the treasure pile and can be picked up after defeating a monster. If you beat Kevin, he simply gets shuffled back into the deck, waiting to pounce on the next person that draws him. You'll draw 2 heroes and a full hand of cards and build your army using different weapons picked up from the deck. Some weapons are in parts, meaning you can't just equip the troller blade or willy-nilly until you have all 3 parts in your hand. Until such a time, you'll have to stick with the weaker 1-part weapons such as the bog blade, the useless stick, or even the chicken drumstick. The game does have replacement parts for some weapons, which sort of fake a missing part, but at the same time it deducts damage slightly. Then there are the world enchantments, which are cards placed down in the game to apply effects to this play session. These are pretty great cards and often come in handy when you have set up your hand and heroes to play a certain way. For example, the one game I played, I placed down the Raging Wood enchantment. This boosted all useless stick damage to 10, meaning these weapons weren't so useless anymore. I also made sure to dig through the discard pile as often as possible to pull these sticks out before using the enchantment card, meaning I had a hand of pretty powerful weapons at my disposal. Another cool world enchantment card is the Dark Portal, which let me summon the bottom monster from the monster graveyard and fight it. I could then draw a treasure each time I did this, meaning I could rack up quite a lot of loot cards and other useful items. Dungeon Brah isn't exactly complicated to learn, and that's great. It took about an hour to learn, and there are still some things that need to be ironed out, but after learning it, a game could take about 45 minutes to complete with 3 people. It all boils down to finding cool ways to prepare for the end. You can simply fight monster after monster, lose your weapons while doing so, but gain treasures to win, or you can cleverly build up a hand that can take down Kevin 3 or 4 times while your friends die one by one. The real fun in Dungeon Brah definitely comes from the butt-clenching anticipation of the draw. The game induces anxiety as you draw cards from the deck, hoping that there aren't a cursed idol or a powerful monster. However, just when you think that is bad, someone would draw the last cursed idol and Kevin would then be shuffled into the deck. As the deck gets smaller, you can only sit there hoping Kevin isn't the next card that you'll draw. That is the real craze of the game here, and it delivers a sense of anticipation I have yet to experience in another card game. Not to mention that Dungeon Brah is incredibly stylish too. Every card is beautifully and often horrifically illustrated. The weapons and enemies look so cool, and I just wanted to stare at everything and take in the game's fantastic personality. So when can you get your hands on Dungeon Brah? Well, the game has recently launched on Kickstarter, where it overachieved its goal by 500%, so things look exciting for Louis at this point. I honestly can't wait to see where this game goes, and there's even talk of expansion packs themed around certain playstyles. I've only played roughly 10 matches of Dungeon Brah, and I did love it. I can only imagine how the madness will grow as cards are released and fans get excited to experience this incredible game. I'll leave links in the description below for where you can find Dungeon Brah and even follow them on social media to keep up to date on what's going on. I'll also leave the link to the Kickstarter page so you can also fund it if you're keen on getting your hands on this game. There's a whole bunch of awesome tiered packages that provide different incentives depending on how much you spend. I want to thank Louis for putting up with me while I took forever to put this video together. It's been hectic with load shedding. Is this a game that you're looking forward to? Please let me know in the comments down below. And as always, please do like and subscribe, and I really appreciate you watching the video, and until next time, farewell.